What does video marketing success look like for financial advisors? Today we have Finfluencer Mike Zung, founder of Java Wealth. Wait. Before we dive into the conversation with today's guest, welcome to the Real Finfluencers, a podcast born from our original video series spotlighting financial professionals who are using video to grow their business and their influence. Here's something you should know. Most of these guests aren't Idea Decanter clients. They've built their digital presence from the ground up, and they're here to share exactly how they did it. I'm your host, Laura Garfield, co-founder of Idea Decanter, and my goal is simple: help you discover strategies you can actually use, steal what works, get inspired, and find your own unique brand of Finfluence. Now let's get into it. Mike has videos on YouTube with over 100,000 views. Mike, did you set out to grow a huge YouTube audience?
Uh, no, it definitely wasn't my initial thought that it's like, hey, I'm going to put something out there and I'm going to get 100,000 views, no problem.
Well, I love hitting this button on YouTube where we look at the most popular videos. And number one is this RSU video. Tell me your thinking behind hitting record and talking about RSUs.
Yeah, so really for RSUs and really a lot of the videos, it was the idea was, I use a whiteboard for a lot of things because I'm a very visual learner myself, and so I feel like a whiteboard helps me be able to think through things and explain things a lot easier. And so my niche is in tech, and so there's a lot of the clients that I have work with equity compensation, so RSUs, stock options, things like that. And so I felt like it was an effective way of explaining, okay, how do RSUs actually work, and be able to explain the taxes on it, and just how how much, what amount of it is income and what's capital gains and all that kind of stuff. Because whenever you're just trying to talk through it, just whether it's in a blog or some other format, it's not as easy. But whenever you can draw some pretty pictures and have some lines and things like that, then I think that kind of resonates with people.
So I heard you mention that your target audience is really folks in the software industry who are getting RSUs. So was this topic inspired to educate your existing clients, your prospective clients, or are you just building an educational library out there on YouTube?
Yeah. I guess a little of everything. My why on the YouTube content was always from an educational angle, right? Those my videos don't have a whole lot of, like, I don't have a bunch of lead magnets and different things of trying to get a lot of lead flow or anything like that. It was more just like, hey, people have these questions, an easy way of answering it and have it be scalable and distributable is to do it on YouTube, right? So that was really the impetus of creating the different YouTube content, is just to try to explain things in a very approachable way, and that it's helpful for the masses, right? Because I'm a solo advisor, so I can only work with so many clients. So this was my way of giving back, right?
So one of my favorite things to do when I check out anybody's YouTube channel is to click on the oldest video. So you got into this 5 years ago, like pre-COVID, you started recording your whiteboard videos. How does it make you feel to see Charity Part 1?
Oh my gosh, it's funny. I mean, and it's crazy to think how what the process was and how the videos felt whenever I first started, and then whenever I go back and listen and watch them, you can see how, or you can kind of hear how shaky my voice is sometimes, and just yeah, the mannerisms are just completely different, and so it's nice to see some level of progression to where, and by no means am I perfect now, by, at all. But yeah, it's pretty fun to see. Yeah, these videos were 5 years ago now. So
So, what piece of advice would you give an advisor out there who hasn't recorded a video yet? And they even look at your original videos and think, maybe I could do that.
right. Yeah. 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 I mean, I definitely just would say just to get started with something. Because if you look at these first videos, there's still not that many views. So, you can kind of take that as permission to say, hey, I'm gonna put stuff out there because I mean, because one of the big fears of doing this is to think that, oh man, people are going to see this and they're going to think that it's terrible, and I'm going to be embarrassed or something like that. But people aren't watching these first videos anyway. So and actually, and purposefully, one of the very first videos that I did was this, like, um don't let perfection get in the way of progress. And so that was as much of the approach, where it's just like, hey, we're gonna do this, and hopefully we get better.
And tell me, between then and now, what you credit the view difference to. So those original videos, you were getting, 50 views, 100 views, maybe a couple of hundred views. Now you get thousands. How did you happen?
Yeah, for me, and this, anecdotally speaking, is whenever I started talking more specific to my niche, right? And I know this is kind of a plug for niche, yeah, having a niche. But once I started to talk about equity compensation, then those were the videos that I saw starting to get some traction, right? Because there's tons of videos out there that are about Roth versus traditional, and just kind of the more basic, or I should say more wide ranging financial planning topics. But whenever it talks about, hey, how does AMT factor into incentive stock options, then there's not a very big game in town. So then that has a higher chance of gaining that traction.
Really, that big fish in the small pond concept. We call it sniper content. So it's answering a very specific question for your target audience. And that's because that's how people use search. That's how they use Google, and YouTube is owned by Google, and videos are prioritized in Google search. So if you can answer a very specific question that your target audience is asking, then you have a greater chance to show up when they're searching for it. Do you rely entirely on organic, or are you putting any paid campaign boost behind any of your videos?
Yeah, no, it's completely organic. I've done something to where the Google gods have said, hey, your RSU video, whenever you type in RSUs, and that's going to be the first one that comes up. So yeah, no, I haven't done any sort of paid marketing or anything like that. It's all organic, just putting the content out there and then seeing what happens.
Where will your next video idea come from?
I have a decent number of videos on ideas on backlog right now, because I actually haven't created any content for about a year or so. So I mean, and really where it comes from is working with clients, and you get the same question a few times, and then that's a video, right? So yeah, there's always ideas for content.
Well, I'm very impressed with your success. Your roll up your sleeves, give it a shot 5 years ago, and continuing a cadence that built an audience and answered questions. And I love that you're coming from a place of, I want to be there to educate, kind of with this side benefit of, this can help me build my business. Do you feel like the efforts you put into your video marketing did help build your business?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, whenever I think about the client base that I have, I would say I actually did do the numbers not a little bit ago. But whether it was directly through the YouTube videos that, yeah, people would come to me and they say, "Hey, I saw you on YouTube and I want to learn more," right? So whether it's that, or then referrals from those people, right? So that definitely has attributed to a lot of my business, and especially in the niche side of it, right? Where, like, it's attracting that ideal client of, like, hey, this is who I do my best work for. So yeah, it is definitely helped.
Well, thanks so much for being here, Mike. And remember, if Mike can do it, you can do it too. If you're looking to build authority and grow your practice with video, but you need some help, check out Idea Decanter. Oh, one more thing. If you're not already part of Idea Decanter's real Finfluencer community, now's your chance to join us. Head to ideadecanter.com/join, and you'll be in. You'll get early access to advisor video tips, invites to exclusive events, and behind-the-scenes insights that you won't find on Google or even on ChatGPT. Whether you're just video curious or already knee-deep in content creation, this is the place to grow your influence with video. Don't miss out. And thanks so much for listening to The Real Finfluencers.